if they'll be tied up in investigations, specifically investigations Trump orders to.
You ever see a political story so wild, so upside down, that comedians don't even have to write jokes? They just show up, and the chaos does the work for them. I'll buckle up, because Karoline Jost and Michael Che just took the latest Trump-Epstein Leavitt circus and turned it into a comedic crime scene. And trust me, you're going to want to stay till the end for the final punchline. House Democrats dropped a set of emails that basically prove one thing. They don't actually prove anything. Trump's team immediately jumped in saying, "See? This shows he did nothing wrong." Then they added the classic explanation, Trump and Epstein just happened to live in Palm Beach at the same time. Simple as that. But the big headline grabber? Supposedly from Jeffrey Epstein himself, claiming Trump knew about the girls. Legal analysts took one look and collectively went, yeah, we already assumed that. Meanwhile, Trump stepped into Congress bragging that no president has ever reshaped the government faster than he has, which, of course, set up the easiest joke of the night. Sure, and nobody transformed airport security faster than Osama bin Laden. From there, Karoline Jost and Michael Che cracked open the vault of political absurdity and found Trump and Karoline Leavitt posing like they're on the cover of Chaos Weekly. What followed wasn't a roast, it was a comedic demolition. 0 survivors. If you've ever wondered what happens when elite comedy collides with political meltdown energy, this is the laboratory experiment nobody asked for but absolutely needed. Trump's recent Middle East trip didn't help the circus calm down either. Jost joked that if he were Trump, he would have just stayed there because the whole trip looked like a luxury vacation someone forgot to hide. Trump arrived in Saudi Arabia on a lavender carpet that matched his tie. And apparently, his tie's entire length. Then came the economy report showing numbers sliding downhill. Trump told everyone to be patient. Tay hit back instantly. If his brain declines any further, it's going to be the patient. The moment Jost and Che locked onto this week's political madness, it looked like a classroom group project everyone regrets being part of, but also can't stop watching. The energy was so chaotic it felt like it created its own weather system. Nothing about this stayed calm. Then came another layer. Conspiracies. Jost joked he doesn't believe in them because, as a proud member of the Illuminati, he knows the lizard people run everything anyway. But even he couldn't believe Trump could be so clueless that he wouldn't notice his wealthy. But he was running an international trafficking ring, though. He added, Trump is possibly the only guy alive who thinks YMCA is a straight anthem. Oh, and if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that subscribe button now before the political chaos gets even weirder. As the jokes kept flying, Colin analyzed Trump's choices like they were puzzle pieces pulled from a thrift store mystery box. Karoline Leavitt tried stepping into the spotlight and immediately slipped on the storyline like it was an icy sidewalk. Comedy splattered everywhere. Saudi Arabia even rolled out a mobile McDonald's food truck for Trump, serving their hot new menu item, the McJournalist. Then Democrats protested Trump's rumored plan to accept a $400 million luxury jet from Qatar by flying a banner over Mar-a-Lago reading, Qatar-Lago. A stunt so goofy, Jost joked it explains perfectly why Democrats keep losing. Announcements poured from the president with the confidence of a guy assembling IKEA furniture without instructions. Colin responded with sarcasm so thick it practically coated the air. Michael Che piled more mayhem on top until the roast felt like its own atmospheric event. One email even had Epstein's brother asking if Vladimir Putin possessed a photo of Trump engaging in adult activities with someone nicknamed Bubba, allegedly Bill Clinton's old nickname. Just deadpanned that if true, it's maybe the first job Trump ever created. He added that even if the story's fake, the mental image is burned into his brain like a horror movie scene that never leaves. Karoline tried to regain control like she was stepping into a stage play, but it ended up looking more like an infomercial that forgot what it was selling. Colin watched the spectacle like a man witnessing interpretive dance in a grocery store. Che treated it like a theme park ride powered by pure absurdity. From there, the roast didn't just escalate, it evolved. Colin dove into Trump's obsession with dominating every headline like drama is part of his daily nutrition. Che supercharged the moment with jokes that buzzed like mischievous electricity. Karoline tried to keep her composure, but she faded into the background like a decoration in a magic trick gone off the rails. The entire scene became a stage production, where the spotlight glitches between Trump's attempts at control and Karoline's attempt at confidence. Colin handled each new twist like the universe was handing him a brand new toy to take apart. His sarcasm rolled through the room like a runaway bowling ball, smashing every last scrap of seriousness. And then, it happened last night. President Trump shared an AI-generated picture of himself dressed as the Pope, basically ordering himself a direct ticket to the underworld. Seriously? Who uploads a photo of themselves cosplaying someone who just passed away? He was literally at the Pope's funeral. That means he walked past the open casket and thought, perfect chance for a who wore it better. From there, Che cranked the chaos dial even higher, pushing the humor into a zone where laughing stops being optional, it becomes the only sane reaction, Colin compared Trump's decision-making to someone proudly trying to cook dinner using nothing but random snacks. Che redirected the focus toward Karoline, whose ongoing attempts to appear polished kept slipping into new genres, drama 1 second, sitcom the next. Together, the two comedians built their own comedic universe around Trump and Karoline, turning every new movement into fresh material. Che blasted through the storyline with the momentum of an avalanche, each joke building into the next until the whole thing snowballed into pure ridiculousness. Karoline tried to keep up, but her determination ended up looking like a character study in staying calm during a tornado. A perfect showcase of how sharp timing elevates a roast. During his trip, Trump claimed Iran had kinda agreed to a nuclear deal in the DLA. Same way Trump has kinda agreed to follow the Constitution. Meanwhile, many people in Saudi Arabia were thrilled by Trump's visit, mostly because wealthy Saudis enjoy flying in thick blondes. Then Trump signed an executive order offering refugee status to white South Africans, which had everyone scratching their heads. Colin joked he could have sworn white people were doing just fine in South Africa. Must be a Mandela effect situation. From there, the momentum drifted straight into entertainment territory. Every one of Trump's public appearances started feeling like audition footage for a movie. Nobody Colin pictured the whole thing as a reality show where the stakes keep rising, even though the storyline flatlin. Che compared Karoline's reactions to someone trying to remain dignified in a wind tunnel, surprised, determined, mildly terrified at the same time. Their combined humor turned the moment into a cinematic meltdown. Every detail expanded the roast. Fashion quirks, media antics, dramatic entrances, even influencer-level exaggeration. Trump kept projecting confidence the way someone proudly wears an outfit that almost matches. Colin poked at the theatrics, like he was giving a performance review that spiraled out of control. Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK to reopen British markets to American companies. All Britain wanted in return? Well, you can keep these too, Colin joked, pointing at whoever happened to be the political headache of the week. Rumors spread that Trump was trying to spark tension between Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance by pointing at them and saying, "Kiss." Che treated the whole situation like a live stream on an invisible channel dedicated exclusively to political bloopers. Karoline tried to hold herself together, but the roast pulled her along like a theater understudy, suddenly realizing their mic is on. Colin framed Trump's pacing like choreography from a rehearsal he definitely skipped. Che doubled down, turning Karoline's quick reactions into something straight out of an overproduced reality show. Together, they whipped the scene into a comedic cyclone that blew away any remaining seriousness. Che compared Karoline's attempts to remain calm to someone walking on a treadmill that randomly changes speed, humor thick in the air, every move became fuel for another joke. Then Attorney General Pam Bondi claimed that without Trump seizing fentanyl at the border, 75% of Americans could already be dead. Che shrugged it off with, "Hey, don't threaten us with a good time." Trump also announced he'd appoint Judge Jeanine Pirro as interim U.S. Attorney for Washington. D.C. Pirro celebrated the news the same way she celebrates everything, with a daily bottle of wine she's been loyal to for half a century, Colin. compared the entire atmosphere to a home renovation being led by someone who doesn't know what a tape measure is. Che picked up the analogy, turning Karoline into the person holding the flashlight. Slowly realizing the project has no blueprint at all, the synergy transformed the moment into a full-blown comedy of errors. The roast dove deeper into the absurd, exploring body language, stage theatrics, and the strange rhythm of political speeches. Trump's habit of treating every moment like the final scene of a movie became its own goldmine. Colin described it as a theatrical masterpiece powered entirely by ego. Trump's Middle East trip circled back into the jokes. Colin said that if he were Trump, he would have stayed there. The trip looked amazing. Trump arrived in Saudi Arabia on a lavender carpet that matched his tie. In its length, they even rolled out a mobile McDonald's truck just for him. Che said the whole atmosphere was one soundtrack. Away from becoming a full-blown dramedy, Karoline tried to be the calm eye of the storm. But even she got swept up by the relentless pace of Colin and Che. Colin framed Trump's decisions like someone attempting a complicated recipe with ingredients that keep disappearing. Che transformed Karoline into the coach on the sidelines, pretending everything is fine while chaos unfolds. Their multi-angled commentary turned the roast into a carnival of absurdity. Colin compared Trump's body language to someone demonstrating a bizarre, posture-improving workout. Che escalated it further by imagining Karoline stuck behind him on the gym treadmill, forced to watch the entire routine unfold, their over-the-top delivery pushes the absurdity into a full-blown satirical fever dream. Trump then announced he wants a 100% tariff on all foreign-made movies, which doesn't bother me at all, considering every film I watch is shot in a Florida condo on a leather couch. If you laughed, you're in that fan club with me. Trump also said he's interested in reopening Alcatraz because it represents something horrible. It's beautiful, strong, miserable, and weak. Conveniently, those are also the nicknames he's assigned to his 5 children. As the scene ramps up, the roast sprawls into fashion commentary, media chaos, and even holiday special territory. Colin treats Trump's wardrobe like a clothing line designed during a blackout. Che grabs the moment and turns Karoline into someone trying to hold together a gift bag that's falling, part in slow motion. Every ordinary moment becomes comedy platinum. Then the roast slides straight into lifestyle territory, taking shots at the stiff choreography of presidential showmanship and the forced cheeriness of political analysis. Their momentum becomes unstoppable. Suddenly they're comparing Trump to survival show hosts, home shopping pitchmen, motivational speakers trying too hard. Colin frames Trump's announcements like late-night infomercial products. Che paints Karoline is someone clinging to a clipboard at a mandatory retreat nobody actually wanted to attend. With each new comparison, the ridiculousness multiplies. During a cabinet meeting, Trump admitted that because of his tariffs, kids might only get 2 dolls this Christmas instead of 30, which brings us into a new segment called "Oh hell no, now I don't usually speak to the president directly, but listen up. If I run downstairs on Christmas morning and only see 2 dolls under that tree, I'm losing my entire mind." Che elevates Karoline into a character trapped in a storyline that keeps changing mid-scene. Together, satire expands the moment into a sprawling comedic universe. The roast keeps ripping through categories with relentless momentum, portraying the president like an actor auditioning for every part in a melodramatic stage. Play. Colin observes the exaggeration as if he's filming a nature documentary. Che extends the moment by turning Karoline into the accidental assistant, who didn't realize the cameras were already rolling. The comedy keeps thickening, shaking off any remaining seriousness. Then they shift into festival-level parody, treating Trump's entrances as parade floats that forgot their theme. Colin imagines the spectacle is choreography that staged a rebellion, while Che molds Karoline's reactions into the patience of someone guiding tourists through a theme park. After closing time, the absurdity expands like a balloon. Somebody refuses to stop inflating. Saudi Arabia even unveiled its signature new burger for Trump's visit, the McJournalist. And once again, Trump claimed Iran sort of accepted a nuclear deal. the same way he sort of agreed to respect the Constitution. Saudis, meanwhile, loved his visit mostly because wealthy Saudis famously enjoy flying in thick blondes. The roast barrels into full entertainment analysis. Colin views Trump like a man hosting a TV show with no script and too much confidence. Che turns Karoline's attempt at staying polished into the intensity of someone juggling flaming batons while still smiling for the audience. The entire moment becomes a theater production no one rehearsed for by the time the roast hits its final rise. The satire stretches across politics, style, fitness, media circus energy, talent shows, and lifestyle chaos. Taka highlights Trump's showmanship as a shimmering combo of boldness and misplaced bravado. Che revels in every second, transforming Karoline's persistence into a subplot that spirals in delightful slow motion. Everything fuses into a comedic crescendo that refuses to leave any quiet moments behind. Trump's dramatic flair keeps feeding the flames, pushing the spectacle further as the last wave of jokes explodes. The entire storyline settles into a glowing pile of satire. The roast lingers like a punchline that somehow gets funnier the longer it sits in your mind. Colin's precise and Che's explosive rhythm wrap the moment in a comedic force field that refuses to fade. If you're loving this breakdown of the political circus and the comedy chaos surrounding it, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss part 2.